Hi, everybody. This is Saad for the Sad Truth. Many years ago, as I was trying to decide which area to specialize in, I had toyed with the possibility of going into psychiatry. And then, in reading about all of the psychoanalytic nonsense, and then later the fulcrum swung to the other side where everything became a pharmacological intervention, I didn't really like the field too much. I even looked at clinical psychology because I was actually quite interested in criminal psychology. Uh, I had read a lot of stuff about serial killers and so on. And then as I uh, looked at clinical psychology, it struck me as though it was laden with all sorts of pseudoscientific approaches, especially when you realize, I can't remember the exact reference, but that the probably the best predictor, if I remember correctly, of how effective a therapeutic intervention is, a talk therapy intervention, is the empathy of the therapist, right? So it's not the extent to which he or she is an expert in their particular fields, which school they went to, where they got their PhD, how accomplished they are as scientists, as practitioner scientists. It's really whether they are empathetic or not. So you could have a person, right? Your mom could be extraordinarily empathetic and bright, and she might end up providing you with greater therapeutic value than a clinical psychologist who might have all the degrees on the wall, but who is lacking in empathy. And so when I had looked at clinical psychology, it wasn't something that ultimately interested me. I had a very technical background. I had done an MBA, and so I thought that I would go on and study human behavior, specifically consumer behavior, using mathematical modeling. Then eventually I connected with the person that turned out to be my doctoral supervisor, who was a mathematical and cognitive psychologist, and I ended up applying my behavioral training in consumer behavior, but more generally psychology of decision making. And then, as some of you know, if you've followed my work, I was very early exposed to evolutionary psychology, and that's how I decided eventually. I had the epiphany to found the field of evolutionary consumption, which is the marriage of evolutionary psychology and consumer psychology. But this introduction that I'm providing you is to give you a sense that psychiatry and clinical psychology and criminal psychology had always been something that I had been interested in. Now, the reason why I'm telling you all this is because I want to sort of set this background against what is now referred to as life coaching. So even in the context of psychiatry, now these are highly trained people. These are physicians, right? They get a medical degree and then they go on to pursue a residency in psychiatry. If some go on to do fellowships in psychiatry. So these are people who are trained for many years in university. Or if you are a clinical psychologist, you go on to get a PhD in clinical psychology, you've certainly spent 10 plus years in university. And even with such rigorous training, it's not always clear that uh, the science is there to help us maximally dispense therapeutic interventions when it comes to mental health issues. Yes, if you're paranoid schizophrenic, there's a clear pharmacological intervention that one can offer that can alleviate the symptoms. But for many other phenomena that fall under the mental health rubric, it's not always clear what the optimal strategy is. Robin Dawes had written a great book many years ago. If I remember correctly, the title is House of Cards. Excuse me. It specifically referred to the fact that the whole therapeutic, mental health therapeutic edifice is truly built on a house of cards. So again, look at how sophisticated all of these mental health practitioners are, and yet people don't feel very confident about the efficacy of many of their interventions. Now, contrast this is what really the point of today's clip is, contrast this to all these sort of personal wellness and new age guru and self-help guru stuff that's coming out now under the rubric of life coaches, right? Now, these are people that have absolutely, in many cases, they don't need to have any training, right? Forget about psychiatric training in medical school, forget about getting a PhD and being a clinical psychologist, forget about pursuing a practitioner science dual model. You just typically become a life coach through some abracadabra mechanism. Sometimes you've got these very, very basic certification processes, and you become a life coach. What does it mean to be a life coach? Uh, well, it just means that you have somehow a mentor who guides you along to increase your personal wellness in one way or another. And so I actually spent a few minutes going through various websites that list the different types of coaches. Basically, every single human action has a coach. Basically, life coaching is where you subcontract your brain to another human being in every human endeavor, somehow, because that other person who otherwise doesn't have any unique expertise more than you do is able to dispense to you how you should act under, you know, domains A, B, or C under conditions X, Y, and Z. So here are some of the areas of coaching: performance coaching, skills coaching, career coaching, personal life coaching, dating coaching, lifestyle coaching, business coaching, management coaching, sales coaching, real estate coaching, leadership coaching, executive coaching, entrepreneurial coaching, ADHD coaching, health and wellness coaching, mental health coaching, family coaching, empty nest coaching. Now, that's a very specific coaching, right? How do you coach people as they enter the life family stage of the empty nest? Religious coaching, spiritual coaching, mystic coaching, neuro linguistic programming coaching, often referred to as NLP coaching, mentor coaching, career coaching, which can be broken down into career management coaching, career passion coaching, and career transition coaching, diet coaching, natural health coaching, vegan fitness coaching, weight loss coaching. I'm not sure if I already said fitness coaching, sports coaching, emotional intelligence coaching, right? You lack emotional intelligence? Hire a life coach that will guide you through the intricacies of how to become more emotionally intelligent. Empowerment coaching, goal attainment coaching, self-talk coaching, mastermind coaching, pre-engagement coaching, right? So forget about, wedding coaching or marital coaching. What about that delicate state before you get married? So there's a life coach that's available for you to offer you pre-engagement coaching. Uh, Prosperity coaching, and I love this one because it's so oftenly mentioned within the bullshit of this whole movement. Co-dependency coaching, right? Every second word you say, if you say, I'm feeling really hungry, I'd like a burger. Oh, stop being so codependent. Everything is a question of codependency. Oh, I've got diabetes. Oh, that must be some form of codependence that you had with your dad. Oh, my Achilles tendon just ruptured. Ah, damn, there goes your codependency with your mom again. So, my point here is not that advice from people and mentorship and sage guidance is not something that we could all benefit from. But here, what you're doing is you are commercializing that process under the sort of rubric of a service, a worthy service that people need, right? And the reality is that there's absolutely no proof, there's no mechanism, there's no way of establishing whether these services are in any way valuable to anybody. It typically is the case that uh, that whole industry is preying on people's insecurities. Right? People are confused. People don't know why they don't have more friends, why they're not better lovers, why they don't succeed more at work, why they can't lose weight. Well, gee, you know what? I need to hire a life coach. No, you don't. There's likely to be all sorts of bright, empathetic people in your lives, hopefully, that can offer you sage advice without you needing to hire somebody to guide you through every step of life. There you have it. That's right there. I gave you the life coaching clip on life coaches. You're welcome. Hope you're having a good weekend, everybody. Talk to you soon. Cheers.